uploaded was my reaction to The Reality War, an episode which you'll know if you watch that video I didn't really like, so apologies for the kind of month away that it's been. But my enthusiasm was kind of killed a little bit by that episode, but we are back talking about some more Big Finish, new release. This is the first release in the new 13th Doctor Adventures. This is, we're talking about Vampire Weekend, written by Tim Foley. Now, I made a video when it was announced that Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gill were coming back, were joining Big Finish to do the 13th Doctor Adventures. I made a video on it last year because I was very excited about it. I was really looking forward to seeing what new things we were going to get with the 13th Doctor and Yaz. I've always said that I'm a fan of the 13th Doctor years, more so than a lot of people, I think, really. And so I was excited to hear what we were going to get. I think I made some, not necessarily predictions, but sort of hopes from when that was announced. We know we've got 12 stories in this first run, so we'll see. I don't recall exactly what my hopes and sort of wishes were, but the first episode, Vampire Weekend, is a lot of fun, written by Tim Foley, who is a Big Finish mainstay, from what I gather. It involves it's Yaz's, one of Yaz's friends, Hindus, in a sort of manor house in the Peak District, and there's the maid of honour, and there's some other guests in the hen party. There's the bride-to-be's mother is there, and there is also, as the title might suggest, vampire, and of course the Doctor shows up as well with some chickens, because it's a hen do. And yeah, this is fun. It kind of takes on the form of a kind of a mystery, almost a slasher, as it goes on. Different members of the cast are targeted by the vampire throughout the runtime. And yeah, this was good. It was silly. It was silly. It was campy. It was fun. But it also had really strong character moments, because the vampire, they kind of talk, there are allusions to the great vampires from the classic Who and such, but this vampire is a truth vampire, and so when it bites you, it doesn't drain your blood, but it drains the chemical that enables you to lie, and so the people start telling the truth and then are kind of put into a trance, put into a sort of a coma, when they're bitten, and so characters reveal things. You know, when a character is forced to tell the truth, they reveal things that they wouldn't necessarily normally reveal, which was really fun. There were really great moments in this. There were fun characters, there were quite big characters, quite broad characters, especially the bride's mother was a very big kind of potentially quite irritating character, but I think they kind of pitched it just right. There's a non-binary character in this as well, which is really great. There's a brief sort of discussions about that as well, about the kind of experience of coming out and pronouns and stuff like that. So that was really nice. But of course, the kind of big draw here is the Doctor and Yaz. It's Jodie and Mandip, and they kind of slip back into the roles effortlessly. It really feels like they've not been away. I especially to Tim Foley, who absolutely nails the voices of both of these characters, especially Yaz. Actually, this is quite a Yaz-centric story, and yeah, that's really great. She feels like Yaz from the TV series. The Doctor feels like the Doctor from the TV series, but you also get those moments as well that are kind of retrospective as an audience member, in the same way that the Sixth Doctor's Big Finish stuff kind of doesn't really fit in with the TV stuff because his characters are different. And I'm not saying that this is like that at all. This is firmly the characterizations as seen on TV. But there is a little bit more. I found the Doctor apologises for not being entirely honest with Yaz, for keeping her in the dark about some things, which I thought was really interesting because the TV version of the character kind of never really does that. It's a big flaw for the 13th Doctor, and I don't mean that in a kind of, it's bad writing. I mean in terms of, it's just a character flaw. It's something about this version of the character that is present, is that she kind of consistently withholds things from her friends, and never really kind of stops doing that, never really learns a lesson about doing that, or, you know what I mean? It's just an element of the character, and that is here. But they talk about it. It's interesting because this is set, obviously, between Revolution of the Daleks and the Halloween Apocalypse, where obviously Revolution of the Daleks, Ryan and Graham leave. But this picks up a little bit after that, where Yaz has gone home for a little bit because she's with her mates at her mate's Hindu, so she's received this invitation and decided to kind of stop for a little bit to kind of commit to this, and the Doctor's off doing her own thing, and so it's a bit of a reunion for them both in this, which is a kind of an interesting place to start off from, but it's also a really good statement of the dynamic, the relationship. It's a statement for this series of this run of stories. It's a real kind of, this is how they feel about each other, and I don't mean romantically, because there are very, very brief allusions to that, but we're not really there yet with these characters, in their kind of own timelines, their own sort of history, but just what their opinion of each other is. They've had this, it does kind of take advantage of the fact that they've only, like Yaz talks about, she's, when travelling with the Doctor previously, she's had Ryan or Graham to go and talk to and kind of talk things through with, but now they're gone and they've planted roots back at home and they've stopped travelling, and so she kind of can't do that the same anymore, and that was really interesting, and I felt just showed a real care being given to where these characters are, what the dynamic is, why are we telling stories at this point, and realistically, it's actor availability probably is a big factor, but there is story to tell there. There is meat there is stuff to explore in that period, and yeah, Vampire Weekend explores it, and it's. I hope that we are going to get more of that as we go on. I think that we will also set up the beginnings of a kind of mystery for this run, which we'll see. I could do without a kind of ongoing mystery. I don't really need that as a listener, but hey, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Vampire Weekend, the first 13th Doctor adventure. I really enjoyed it. I thought both Jodie and Mandip really took to the audio medium really well, in ways that some other actors don't necessarily, and I don't mean that nasty way or throwing shade or anything. It's hard to convey everything you need to with only a voice. But I thought that they really fit in the format. So yeah, a lot of fun. I think these are going to be on a bi-monthly basis. So the next one will be in September. I believe in between, I think on a bi-monthly basis, we've got the 13th Doctor and then the 9th Doctor and Rose. So I think I'm gonna go for both ranges, and I'm gonna stick with both as we go along. 12 releases in each. Those are kind of two big series that I'm really interested in hearing. So yeah, this was really fun. I believe the next story is called The Return of the Doctor. I forget who wrote it, who's written it, but that looks interesting. I believe on the cover art there's an armadillo in a tracksuit or a jumpsuit, so who knows what that's about. But it looks fun. And yeah, I hope that we keep up the quality and the standard, because this was a good time. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Vampire Weekend. Have you listened to it? What did you think of it? Are you intending on listening to it? Are you maybe unsure whether or not to dive into 13th Doctor stuff? I'll be interested to see what the reaction to this is, given that it's not the most popular era of the show, although in a way it might be boosted by Jodie's appearance in the reality war, which kind of unanimously everyone seems to agree is one of the best moments in that episode. And as you know, even people who didn't necessarily love Jodie's tenure really liked her in that scene, so we'll see. It'll be interesting, and I hope this does well, because yeah, 13th Doctor stuff is really fun. It'd be interesting if it were possible to get some of the other cast members back, but of course that would be at the end of this 12 story run, so we'll see. Let's just enjoy it for the time being. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm going to try and be back a little bit more, do a few more videos currently and stuff like that. We'll see. I moved again very recently, so I'm in a new place now, so the acoustics of the room might sound a little bit different perhaps, but I'm kind of settled in now, so we will see. I want to do more stuff. Obviously we've had the new collection set out, so I'll be, as always, doing an unboxing video for that. But yeah, thank you